Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled The Arizal's Position on Techelet Part 2. In the previous year we mentioned that it's quoted, Arizal's quoted as saying that the Medrash from Bamidbar Rabbah that says that the Techelet is hidden, and not only is it hidden until we find it, but we will not find it. It is hidden until the Messianic era, until Yemot HaMashiach, and therefore the Arizal maintains there is no reason to even try to find the Techelet and search for it. It is hidden, and that's it until the Messianic era. So we mentioned, what do we do with a psak like that? Does that end the whole discussion? Meaning, those who think they found it. Razina, he thought he found it. Now Techelet thinks he found it. Herzog thought that he found. Oh, forget about all the searches. The Arizal paskind that we do not have it, and we will not have it. And until we have the actual Mashiach, there's nothing to discuss. So in the previous show we mentioned that according to Rav Moshe Feinstein, in the beginning of Orach Chaim Dalet, he looks at the psak of the Arizal, not on Techelet, but in general, as a great achron. The psak of a great achron. Magen Avraham, the Taz, the Shach, the Arizal. He's in the list of amazing achronim, and we should take his position into account, like all the achronim taken into account, but it will not tip the scales by itself, his position. However, there is someone known as Rav Yaakov Hillel. Some people may be familiar with him. Rosh Yeshiva living in Yerushalayim today, a great Mekubal, but Mekubal not in the mystical, superstitious way of the country. He wrote a book, Tamim Tiyeh, Faith and Folly in English, where he goes ahead and rejects all this mystical, superstitious kind of activities that many Mekubalim are involved in. He's a tremendous Talmid Chacham, he's a Kabbalistic scholar. He's a Talmid Chacham of the Zohar, the Arizal's writings, and of Shas and Poskim as well. Very unique, beautiful blend. So he goes ahead in his Shelot Tshuvot, he wrote a lot of books, in his Shelot Tshuvot Yashav Hayam, he writes there that the Arizal, his psak is a unique psak. In general, we're talking about, and he has a special siyata deshmaya, and his psak has more weight than other achronim, and therefore, when he goes ahead, if Rabbi Yaakov doesn't address the Techelet in his Tshuva and Vayashav Hayam Yedalit, rather he's talking about in general. When he gives a psak, it's different than the other achronim. So therefore, those that have that approach to the Arizal, like Yaakov Hillel, and the Arizal comes along and says that there is no Techelet until Mashiach, then that's going to carry a lot of weight. As I said, personally, I'm more like the Rav Moshe Feinstein camp and approach that the Arizal is a great achron, but his position is not going to outweigh all the other achronim. It's just an important position. But it's just important, A, to know that there's a machloket about how to view the psak of the Arizal in general, and B, specifically regarding Techelet, there will be different approaches of how to deal with such a psak when he says it's hidden to Mashiach. There are those who are going to say, like the Rav Moshe approached the Arizal. I'm not saying he spoke about the topic of Techelet, but the approach that Arizal was one of the great achronim will say, okay, so according to Arizal, we cannot find the Techelet today, but others will argue. While the Rav Yaakov Hillel approach will say that once Rav Arizal paskins that way, the sugya is closed. I personally lean towards the way that we could still investigate the sugya and Yetz Hashem be able to discover the Techelet even in these days before the advent of the actual Mashiach. Shalom.